What's going on, everybody? This is Mark D. Sanchez. We're going to visit Antarctica again. And I found a small square space while I was doing my close-up to the ground, just to sweep over the area. And it had a trail leading from it, so I followed it and followed it and followed it. And lo and behold, it led to a base. And when I went back to Wikipedia and looked at all the bases that was in this area, I was able to find this the Zuchelli. It's an Italian word. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing it correct. But here I've outlined the little square area because I know it's hard to see on the screen, and then I made it disappear. I'm going to show you the lines that I followed to get to it. Now this place is got a lot going on. They do the glaciology and the ionosphere and all the normal stuff, offshore, onshore, geology, marine biology. But some of the other things they're doing is they have a trash composting area, and I don't know if that's where they get it, but they liquefy nitrogen and something else. I'm gonna have to look back on it and see what it is, but they have a desalination plant. Here, this is where in the video I started really wondering just what all that brown and yellow looking stain. I mean, their trail goes straight through it, and this was an obvious trail leading somewhere because it led me to the place where I ended up. So I'm wondering what this yellow and brown stuff is, if it has to do with any of the stuff they're doing. But like I was saying, the trail that led here, there's dozens of them leading out from it. So I'm gonna zoom out when this is over and zoom back in slow and see if maybe that helps you get to it a little bit easier. But they've got a lot going on with them from what I've read, they're a supply post. Here you see the 3 Doppler type looking radars. There's 3 of them, so I would imagine they do 3 different things. And they have rather large 2 buildings, and when you read about it, it refers to the main building. And it looks to me like they have 2 main buildings. And it says that they supply other bases with stuff. So since they have the desalination plant, they're taking salt out of the ocean water and using it as fresh water. I guess they do that to avoid melting the fresh ice in the water. I don't know, but that takes a lot of power, so it really makes me wonder if they have some kind of, nuclear power set up here, but there's nothing like that mentioned. Yeah. Excuse me. But that right there, the desalination, that really struck me as odd, and the fact that they liquefy nitrogen and I believe oxygen, nitrogen and oxygen. They liquefy it there for some reason. I don't know what it's used for. Maybe the nitrogen is the source of fuel that they're using for the desalination. But they got a lot going on. In Antarctica, these 2 buildings here, these would be their office buildings, but that red building, I think there's 2 of them, touching end to end. Those would be storage buildings. And in Antarctica, in Antarctica, they color code their buildings. Green might be for food, red might they color code them all, and I believe they all work together in the different bases to use the same coloring system. I guess this helps them, not wander off to the equipment building when they're really needing some water. I mean, I don't know. I guess having the buildings color coded helps them navigate around, but these seem to all be red buildings, so it doesn't look like this is somewhere that does a whole lot of occupying it for a long time. It seems more like what it said, like they supply other places. Now, if you can get access to Google Earth, this is Google Earth Pro that we're looking at. It's free on Windows. I highly suggest going to this one. There's if you turn your phone sideways and even cast it to a TV, you'll be able to read that list. That has all the different buildings that are in this complex and all the different experiments and stuff that they got going on. I've already mentioned the ones that stuck out at me. They do geomagnetic observations. They do cosmic ray observations. I believe that's what some of those Doppler radars might be for. But all in all, for it being not such a big looking camp, they have a lot going on. There is 2 helipads that they have, and I would suspect that they have icebreakers. They're right near the edge. I would guess that icebreakers, deliver stuff out as close as they can get, and then they haul it the rest of the way in. That might be some of these trails you see going out away from it. Again, there are dozens and dozens of these trails. It would take me hours to show all of it to you. So I highly suggest you go and get on Google Earth and check this site out. Here, a really nice square piece seems to be built or broken away from the other ice. That caught my eye. And then these, I went back and checked on these a little more in depth, but these little nub-like things sticking up out of the ground, they kind of caught my eye. I like to really look around and check everything out, especially before I, film a tour of it. But I highly recommend go to the Zuchelli base and check out the tunnels. Follow them if you can get Google Earth. Follow it, away from there and see where these different things lead. That's what I'm gonna do. And this is me trying to back out slowly and make it so that you'll be able to maybe find it. The notch that's inside of Antarctica right there. It's right in the corner of it. I'd suggest watching the video while you're trying to zoom in on it, and you'll be able to recognize the different shapes coming out at you and be able to kind of guide yourself to it. Like you have to get within your 5 or 10,000 feet before you'd even see it, so you have to zoom in really far. But I hope y'all enjoyed this. I hope y'all check it out. It's Zuchelli, Zuchelli, I believe. But this is Mark D. Sanchez. I hope y'all enjoyed this. I'll be bringing y'all more. And don't forget, invest in Dogecoin. Dogecoin's gonna make a lot of people a lot of money. It's Mark D. Sanchez. I'll see y'all later.